Has here from Shield Canine. If you run into a dog behaviorist or dog trainer that says, I don't believe in training dogs with pain or fear, what they really mean to tell you is that they are incapable and or unwilling to stop bad behavior in dogs. The reason for this is very simple. The very behavioral science to which they claim to adhere actually tells us that the only way to stop behaviors that are undesirable is with the use of punishment, or in layman's terms, a correction. Similarly, the only way to create behavior or reinforce behavior is obviously with the use of reinforcement, either positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. So again, in layman's terms, positive reinforcement is when you add something, so you give the dog food or a toy or a treat, or praise even. And negative reinforcement is when you kind of guide the dog into something by pulling on their leash, essentially. So even though they claim that they never use negative reinforcement, if you use a leash, you're using negative reinforcement. So if you think about this from a dog training perspective, about 50 to 60% of the things that we do as dog trainers is teach dogs not to do things. And then the rest of it is obviously teaching the dogs to do things that they wouldn't naturally do, like sit, down, come, place, heel, etc. But we're also teaching the dog not to do things like pull, jump on people, be aggressive, chase small animals, the list goes on and on. So if I tell you that I'm a dog trainer or I'm a dog behaviorist, and I claim to be proficient in that field, yet I'm incapable of actually stopping or preventing behavior, really what kind of dog trainer am I? I'm an ineffective one, that's what. Now, those that follow the force-free or positive-only approach will often tell you that if you fool around with thresholds and if you teach alternate behaviors, you can eliminate bad behaviors or teach your dog to stop being aggressive or any other of a wide plethora of bad behaviors that dogs often offer. But that's not at all true. That's why you will rarely, if ever, see a dog that was badly behaved go through a force-free training approach and come out the better for it in the end. And by that, I'm not talking about anecdotal stories. Everybody has those. I'm talking about actual evidence, as in documentary evidence via video or something in a scientific journal or article. Whereas you can easily find the opposite to be true. So dogs that were corrected for bad behaviors, it's scientifically proven that it does stop those bad behaviors. And you can see numerous videos of dogs that have extremely terrible behaviors that have been, completely turned around with the use of appropriate levels of correction and punishment. So again, you have to understand what people mean when they say, I don't believe in the use of pain or fear in dog training. Usually what it is it's an attempt to put down people that follow, a more balanced training approach. It's basically insinuating that people that do that are somehow evil and abusive, or if you do that with your dog, you're an evil, abusive person that doesn't care about your dog and doesn't love your dog, when in fact the opposite is true. There is nothing more ethical you could do for your dog than to functionally train that dog, or if your dog has behavioral issues, to do whatever is necessary to remove those behavioral issues. Just like you would take your dog to the vet if your dog had a severe medical condition or something that could impact their quality of life, you would take your dog to the vet, and even if there was a painful procedure that was necessary to your dog, you would of course do it because you care about your dog and you want what's best for your dog. So yes, if you train with corrections as part of your dog training system, there is a certain element of stress or fear that is necessary to the training. But here's the next little secret with that. Stress or fear does fade in time. So the implication that a lot of these trainers have is that if you use any kind of aversive in your dog training, your dog will remain afraid of you forever. And nothing could be further from the truth. It's like saying, because we have laws in our society with punishments attached to those laws if you transgress them, that we must all live in constant fear of breaking the law. And of course, again, that's not true. We simply understand how to avoid breaking the law and how to avoid the punishment. A good dog training system has the same. So, a dog that is trained consistently and fairly completely understands how to avoid the stress or the discomfort of a punishment, and has no need to be afraid, unless, of course, that dog's choosing to be disobedient or to engage in undesirable behaviors. So we have to understand that stress and fear exist for a reason. Stress and fear are biological sensations or emotions that animals and human beings have because it actually makes it more likely that we will survive and be able to reproduce, especially animals. Stress and fear basically teaches us what to avoid or what is bad. And a good dog trainer understands this and uses it as appropriately as necessary in order to, number one, eradicate bad behaviors, and number two, create dogs that are reliable in their obedience. A dog that is reliable in its obedience and does not engage in undesirable or dangerous behaviors is much more likely to have a high quality of life because they get to go places, they get to do things, they get to be off leash, they get to enjoy life the way a dog should. And they get to share more of their lives with their handlers instead of having to be cooped up or always kept on a tether. So in summation, if somebody tells you they are against pain or fear in dog training, what they really mean is either they don't understand how dog training works or how any kind of training or learning process works, or they are so wedded to a utopian ideology that the well-being of the dog is not the primary factor in their thinking. And in either case, those people should be avoided at all costs when it comes to a choice in who you choose to train your dog.